All right, here we are spawning in the bottom left in the blue. He is, of course, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Rogue. And his opponent in the upper right, in the red, his teammate, the online warrior himself. He is Cure. And as Sushi has said in chat, we're just going to have to see how heavily or how much Cure is going to be able to deal with the Roche boys that we will most likely see coming out of here for Rogue. But actually, you know what? I'm not convinced that that's the case. Because while he did play Roaches every single game against Maru, that felt like it was very much a Rogue playing the hero, or playing the game, or playing the player, not the game, right? Maru, with his multitasking style, with his late game focus that he's been playing in TVZ as of late, well, it makes sense that he doesn't necessarily, he's not as strong against these early mid-game pushes, because if you're trying to power up into the late game, then, well, that makes life a little bit easy for you, right? So we're going to have to see whether that is going to be the case, or whether Rogue actually, just says, this is the way I'm playing now. Roaches all over the place. I have not seen any of Rogue's games after the GSL, after that GSL finals. And again, he did look good in those GSL finals. It looked dominant in those GSL finals. But it's also an offline best of 7. And Rogue doesn't lose those. I think someone pulled up some stats afterwards. Only 2 players have ever taken him to a 4-2 or beyond. 3 players only taken him to a 4-2 or beyond. Man, those are fantastic. Some fantastic emotes. Helia Demon. That's pretty cool. We're dancing around a fire, hoping to summon a great series. But yeah, this, of course, as I did mention earlier, this is a best of 9, and that does mean that well, it's a best of 9, but all maps are played, and that's the big thing, right? So, it's not going to be like any player is incentivized here to try to speedrun this to get a quick 5-0. In fact, you're incentivized to get a 9-0. You do get that. You do get an extra $300. But I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. That being said, though, of course, Rogue did go for a pool first here in this game, so that means his speed is a little bit faster. Although he was not really able to get that much damage done. The natural was still completed on time, all that. But this is a 3-minute speed instead of a 3:30 or a 4-minute speed if we're going to take a page from Solar's book. So that does mean at the very least that Rogue, well, he's going to be a little bit safer, quote unquote. But also, well, maybe he has a higher potential for damage if he's able to sneak some Zerglings around and try to get on into the mineral line. Now, I doubt that that's what he's going to go for. The standard Zerg play at this point, it's been refined over years. You just kind of sit back. You get up to your 15 odd Zerglings, you get your queens, and you defend Hellion pressure that way. And Eggdo 55, this is a best of 9, but all maps get played. So it's really not a matter of you win 5 games, you win the series. It's more of a matter of you want to win as many games as possible out of the 9 to maximize your prize earnings, because it's $20 a map. So it's a little bit different of a format. So we do have the Hellions moving out on the map here, and Rogue, he's aware, or at least aware of the possibility that this will be Banshee play. So we have spores going down everywhere, no big deal. And I do like this from Rogue. He has opted for Overlord speed in this game, right? Just saying that, like, yeah, I'm the better player here. My ZVT is incredible right now, and as long as I'm able to get the scouts that I need, I'm going to be totally fine. And I don't hate that, of course. That's a display of confidence that you'd like to see from top-level players, at least top-level Zergs. They go and they say, yeah, I'm just not going to die. Now, it's interesting that he's got this extra spore. That is not something you see all that often. Generally, it's just, you know, one. Generally, it is 4 spores, but if it 1 spore, like, in the rally position, so yeah, that spore. It's interesting that there are 2 spores that are just looking to defend the main base, because this is not that big of a commitment here to Banshees. There's only 1. Oh, I guess there are 2 Banshees, but nothing more than that. And again, so the fact that Rogue will commit to 4 spores here with the extra spore in kind of a weird spot, That's not something you see all that often, but I guess it just kind of guarantees that that he stays safe. And with the queens here, yeah. The Banshees will start to target some drones down, but will, again, not be all that successful. And this is not going to be roaches here in this game number 1. At the very least, there is a Spire on the way, Baneling Nest on the way as well. No 4-mana, no 430 Roach Warren. So Rogue, he is stylistically changing in this game. So now we have these Hellions. They're looking to dive on it if they get the opportunity, but with the Queens here and the Zerglings, yeah, we're not going to see all that much happen here with these Hellions. Not to say they're not useful. I mean, they're doing a decent job of clearing up the creep on the left-hand side. Right-hand spread is actually starting to get really good already, and this is what you want, right? You want that creep around and outside your third base, around and outside your fourth base, ASAP, so you can defend that a little bit easier. But now, oh, that's going to be a lot of juicy creep tumors that here we'll be able to find. But Rogue has the energy, so really no big deal. It doesn't push the creep back, but it does spread it more. But this is interesting. Rogue, he's double expanding already, and he's got a hatchery on the way in the main base too. This is, I mean, he just spent 900 minerals on hatcheries, not on Zerglings, anything like that. But he also, I think he knows here that Kir, he has his third base already. He's not really interested in pushing out until 1-1 happens, and 1-1's still a little bit further out, so he can afford to get those 3 additional hatcheries. He can afford to get those mutas. Delay everything else, and he'll still be totally fine. That being said, I mean, 1-1 is going to be done before the Evos are. So, in that context, Rogue's upgrades are going to be pretty much the slowest that you can possibly get playing this Lingbane, or playing this Lingbane Muta style. Now, it's all about the Mutas here. It's all about the Baneling connection, so it's not that big of a deal. Banelings, yes, they scale with upgrades, but it's not as nearly important as getting attack upgrades for them as it is on other things. Now, these Banshees will get taken on out, but this is also the Muta reveal, and we will see an Overseer go down immediately, as Kyria is now getting aggressive on the map just a little bit. He's going to lose the Banshees, sure, that's fine. But A, they've told him where the Mutas are. B, they pushed the Mutas back a little bit. And C, with this 1-1 to 0-0 advantage, and it will always be a 2-upgrade advantage in this game. At least, well, unless Kyria does go for a slower 3-3 or something. But anyways, it should be a 1-upgrade or 2-upgrade lead in this game. Well, Kyria's going to be pretty happy, but now the Zerglings, they're going to shirk around. They're going to try to find what they can. They're going to get a supply depot. Oh, that's actually going to supply block Kyria here. That's surprising. No, I believe we do have, yeah, we do have Bane speed. Now we do have this push coming on in here, but again, we talked about creep spread. Kyria's done a fantastic job of keeping the creep spread back, but even with that work that he has done, this creep spread here on the map is massive. But that, oh, I love that. A bunker here on the third base here from Kyria is going to keep him so safe from these run-bys, and this is what Zergs have been using to just kill every single Terran as of late. Right, the minute the Terran moves out of the map, you move like 40 Zerglings on into their main base. You try to get a run-by in, and it slows the Terran down and messes things up, and it's a bit problematic, but you get that bunker, suddenly it is a lot less problematic indeed. But, well, we don't have a lot of missile turrets. It's one per base, and nothing's really defending the production here. So yes, Rogue is going to lose his 5th base, but he really wasn't ever using it in the first place. And those Baneling connections are going to be rather good indeed. Baneling's rolling on into the middle line as well. But Kyria's playing some fantastic defense in this game. Kyria's playing some really good defense in this game. But yeah, someone talked about, yeah, we just have Rogue here's going to jump on top of this army. There are more Banelings than there are Marines on this composition, so no big deal there. Yeah, the rest of the units are going to get picked up as well. So Kyria's taken out of base, right? Rogue is now only just barely rebuilding his 5th base, and he will have 2-2 marginally faster. So there's a brief window where there's going to be upgrade parity, but generally when you're playing these Muta styles, that window is a bit bigger, right? It's about half an upgrade timing that you can really take those good fights. But not so much in this game, as we do have a 4th base on the way here for Rogue, and with the Thors out as well, these Mutas are not going to be quite as powerful as they otherwise would be. Still powerful, don't get me wrong, but not the insane level of strength that they were earlier. Even as Rogue does commit for +2 air attack, which I really like. I'm not a big fan of these Muta styles that go and they say, yeah, all right, we're going to get we're not going to get any Muta upgrades. We're just going to rely on having the Mutas there, and we're just going to commit that much more to our ground-based style. Having +2 Mutas versus +0 Mutas is such a difference. You can actually fight the Terran army in some situations. You can really burst down missile turrets, all that fun stuff. you can deal with drops better. And it really just that much more strength that you can build into your army. Okay, Baneling just ran on into the third base here. 14 SCVs will go on down. And we might have to start to see some repairs down that orbital, as it is around 40% HP. And that is so many mutas. What are we at? 20 odd mutas in this game? Yeah, 23, which is somewhat standard, right? If you do go for +2. But I mean, Rogue is pretty much unchallenged in this game. Now, granted, Cure hasn't really been trying to. We had that one push that knocked down the 5th base. Then Rogue lost Cure lost his entire army, but realistically, Cure has not been trying to commit to that too much. So Rogue now does have his 4th base up here. Excuse me, Cure does have his 4th base up. 3-3 on the way. He's getting additional Thors, planetaries on the way, all that fun stuff. And now Banelings come rolling on in once again. We did have a full repair here, but there's just not enough army here. So the Banelings, they're going to split on into the mineral line. Nice pulls. We'll be able to keep everything alive for the time being. Only 5 workers do go down. 7 workers go down, excuse me. And, well, we will lose the gas as well. And Cure's splits are not good, right? He loses a lot more of that army than he should. That was not the biggest commitment there from Rogue. And he loses a decent amount of his army on top of 9 workers, on top of everything else. And I hope that's not a harbinger of this series, because man, if Kira is just not splitting like that, it's gonna be a long series. So Banelings running on in once again here, and there's not a lot of Marines for these Banelings to really connect with. But what they have done is they've cleared out the Marines, which means the Thor goes down, which means the mutas are going to be able to stand a little bit stronger. But well, 4 mutas did die, so maybe not the best trade here for Rogue anymore. But he's got every base on the map. He has 7 bases here on his side of the map. He's going to start trying to take his opponent's bases sooner rather than later. He's got a fairly large bank, even if he's somewhat lacking in gas. And I think what we see here is Cure just kind of hoping that Rogue is going to tire himself out on these pushes, at which point maybe Cure can do something. But man, you just let a Zerg push unfettered and they're going to grow unfettered, right? Cure has every base that he can take on the map at this point. It's 13 more. Rogue has every base on the map that he can take at this point. It's 13 minutes into the game, and now the Banelings, they're going to roll on in. We will see the command center get lifted just so it does not die. Once again, it's going to get broken here. And yeah, Banelings are not going to get maybe the best connections, but that's a dead 3rd base. That's really all that Rogue wanted. He just buffers for things. And he still has an army supply lead. And on top of that, I mean, he's up double the army. He's double the worker supply pretty much. These mutas with +2, they're going to fly on into the main base as well. Knock down a bunch of reactors, a bunch of tech labs, a bunch of add-ons. And now Rogue's up 60 supply. He's up 20 army supply too, with a composition that is arguably, not even arguably, that is more supply efficient than the composition of his opponent. So, yeah. Yeah, okay, we're at the point here where Zerglings are fighting with a negative upgrades against the Terran army, and they're somewhat winning. Not perfect, but it's getting close enough here that the fight doesn't really matter. There we have it, GG. Rogue takes game 1. And here we are, spawning the upper right in the blue. He is, of course, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Cure. Rogue. And his opponent here spawning the bottom right in the red. This time, we'll get his name right. He is Cure. Well, we talked about Cure maybe having to mix things up a little bit. We got a T-Rex coming on in, and granted, well, this isn't all in necessarily, but what it is pressure. Really, the goal here is to get like 6-7 workers, and that's it. There we go. The Marine, one Marine, the two 2 SCVs are on the way, but here's the thing, right? This was pool first once again. Rogue is well aware of how powerful he is in this matchup and what type of shenanigans his opponent may try to pull to make this work. So, what does he do? He goes pool first, and he says, look, I'm just not going to die to this. So we have 8 Zerglings on the way here, and well, here's the thing, right? It's not even you try to fight this straight up, you're just trying to catch off the reinforcements, force them into a corner where they cannot micro anymore, so all of the Marines are going to go down here. There will be no bunker. That's not even a question. But really, it's just a question of how well Rogue will be able to trade with these Zerglings, as he is confident and he's going to be able to trade damn well indeed. Maybe at the end of the day, these Zerglings do go down. They will be forced to retreat here, but so many Marines have died. And this is just a disaster here for Kier. He tried for this bit of pressure, but you do need to get something done with it. Honestly, though, yeah, Earl Sweet, that's pretty accurate. But yeah, this game is a disaster here for Kier. He went for the all-in. He went for the proxy. Not necessarily the all-in. He went for the pressure build, and well, didn't work. Right? He got his 2 racks up. They were scouted. His opponent built a bunch of Zerglings early game anyways to try to go cancel his base. And that was that. We have 3 queens here. These Marines, well, maybe just maybe, with the amount of Zergling, or the amount of Marines that Kier has built on up, maybe he's going to be okay to actually get some damage done. But I doubt it. These 3 queens here are a powerful fighting force indeed. We don't have stim. We have nothing to buff these Marines up. And there we go. We will have the SCVs and the Marines. They're going to try to take their fight onto the high ground here. And you know what? Okay, yeah, no, with the Zerglings, no, this is not going to work. It was worth a try, but no, that is not the game plan here today. Rogue, he's going to be totally fine. His speed's now done. Kind of more on a Solar-esque timing than anything else, but granted, we can't really compare hatch first to pool first speed timings. Not really. But now speed is done. More and more Zerglings are on the way here to deal with the rest of these Marines. And third base just going to be on the way here for Rogue. He's like, look, I am totally safe. Now, he's going to have that base canceled or delayed for the timing, as these queens do look to move on out. But the Zerglings will be able to deal with this Hellion rather easily. And Kier behind this, he says, okay, well, that didn't work. That Hellion will go on down. That didn't really work, right? My 2 racks, it was an utter failure. What if I build 2 extra command centers? That seems like a thing. Now we do have Rogue here. His lair is just about done. I think this is going to be like a 2-base Muta-esque style. As that would make a lot of sense, just considering this is a fast lair. And there we go. Spire on the way, Baneling Nest on the way as well. And that does mean that, well, this is going to be fairly good here for Rogue. Should he survive the Hellion drops and things like that, which he should. He has fantastic vision out here on the map. Of course, we do notice the Zerglings patrolling on in the main base. This Hellion drop's not going to get anything done. And the queens here are going to prevent it from going down in the natural now. Rogue doesn't have the biggest economy right now. This was a kind of a 2.5 base Muta build. But at the end of the day, Kier's economy is even worse, right? This was a 2x that got literally nothing done. And yes, he has been attempting to double expand out of this. But still, he's not going to have that upgrade timing that is so nice in bio builds versus Muta builds. Yeah, it's Simon J. Riley. That is exactly right. But now, there we go. Now we have the E-Bays on the way. But it's going to be a much thinner timing that Kier is going to be able to take advantage of with his upgrades compared to Rogue's. That being said, I would expect to see the Evos soon, but probably once Rogue does saturate his 3 bases is what we're going to see with that one. But anyway, 9 meters on the way, more and more Zerglings on the way as well. Baneling speed has not yet been started, and that is something at the very least here for Kier. But he has to get so much damage done at this point. His 3rd base is now down. Yeah, that's great. He's not mining from it. He's only on 46 SCVs, only on 2 base saturation. And, well, Rogue does have his 4th base up. He's not mining from it yet. He's only on 58 workers, but really, that's just because he's cut workers for the time being to make sure that he can hold this push off. And now, this is not the easiest ult here because, well, the Banelings don't have speed, so it's hard to get Banelings on top of everything here, but the meters are going to take the fight as well. Banelings actually not going to get the best connections here, and it looks like here, no, he's going to not win this fight. Never mind. He will lose a couple meters, but that's going to be just about it. And now Rogue, he's going from strength to strength. He's got a 30 supply lead, and this Viking is doing a lot. That should be mentioned here. This Viking is doing a lot, but oh no, Rogue! Got to be careful there. You cannot take that fight. A couple more meters will go on down. And all of these things are somewhat equalizers. Somewhat equalizers. All right, so now we do have the mutas here. They're going to look to dive on into the main base. If they can get this these evays, that's going to be fantastic indeed. But no, that really should not be an option here. Yeah, and mutas really do seem to give Cure some trouble. I'm not sure saying X-Tech gives Cure trouble in this game. Because, in all honesty, it's just more of a fact that the 2 racks got nothing, literally nothing done. And when your 2 racks, when your pressure build doesn't get anything done in a game, well, good luck in the mid game, especially against a player like Rogue. As solid as Rogue is, it is damn hard indeed to get anything done there. But now we do have Banelings on the way. It looks like a little bit of a Baneling run by getting set on up here. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is Rogue does not even have his 1-1 upgrades on the way. He got his evades, sure, but 1-1's on the way now after 2-2 has started. So this is going to be there's actually going to be a very thin timing here where Kyr's could have a 4 upgrade, not even a 2 upgrade lead. He's going to have a 4 upgrade lead in this game. We talked about how powerful 2 upgrade leads are in this matchup, and it is 4 upgrades though. That's massive. That is almost insurmountable, but we've seen Rogue. We've seen how well he plays. And considering his kind of economic lead, well, look, if he can get these evays, he's gonna get, I believe he's gonna be able to get at least one of these evays. I would love to see him target that down. There we go. So we will see Armor be the one that's targeted on down, but no, the SCVs are gonna get pulled in time. It does not dance quite well enough. And now the Marines are gonna try to find this. They will be unsuccessful, but they are, of course, going to try to find what they can find here. All right, though, but now 1-1's about halfway done, 2-2 just about halfway done as well. But I do again like this from Rogue. He's committing hardcore to his air upgrades. Already +1 is done, +2 on the way, and that means these mutas are going to be the strength of Rogue as they were in the previous game. They will be able to take some semblance of fights as long as there are Zerglings and Banelings buffering for them, and he's getting a lot of them. Right, we're going up to most likely 23, 25 mutas, and that's a really strong force there. You can snipe missile turrets very easily. Wouldn't mind if they just die immediately. And I would like to see Cure really try to see if he can snipe these upgrades. As man, if he snipes those upgrades, everything I've said about upgrade leads and all that fun stuff, well, not really going to be a thing. And he has shown some desire to. Granted, Cure's just reacting a little bit too fast. These Banelings, they're going to look to crash on in, but 1-1 is not yet done. Oh, there we go. No, he will get these 2-2 just before they do complete. Yeah, there we go. He's going to get both of them here. That's going to be massive. Yes, he will lose his 5th base. Or at the very least, he will lose all the workers at that 5th base. And that's going to be something. But losing these upgrades is such a big deal here. Now Rogue's going to be able to fight with parity for the rest of this game. And actually, he's going to have an upgrade lead. So 17 more drones on the way here looking to resupply things. But now Cure, he's getting his pressure on in earnest. We have a drop on into the main base here. But the Queens are there to defend all 7 of them. And the mutas, they will be able to clean the rest of this up. And now, okay, so what do we have? A run by on into the natural. But no, the rally there from Cure is going to be good enough. And Rogue's army here, it's only Banelings. These splits here from Cure are going to be a whole lot better than they were in game number 1. So he's going to find his way on into the mineral line. We don't have that many Banelings with this army. And that's something. But yeah, the mutas here, they're going to be able to clean everything up. But 20 workers have died. Rogue, he still has a 15. He still has like a 13 worker lead, despite all everything there. Now the mutas, they're taking this fight in style, just targeting down all the Marines first, which means that, well, the mutas from there will be able to fight with impunity. Rogue, he's looking to snowball this, and he has been somewhat successful in doing so. There we have it, GG Cure. He made better fights in that game. So Cure, of course, going for a standard build, but I mean, this is gas pool, right? This is an aggressive opening from Rogue. Now, how aggressive it will be, we're gonna have to find out. Now, at the very least, this does mean that we will have a 3-minute speed, not a 3:30, not a 4-minute speed. So he will have the opportunity there, and yeah, Kier's gonna say, okay, look, I see how far done this this hatchery is. I know what you're up to, and he will. That's pretty obvious here. This is going to be a pool first build. It's only going to be, what is this, 4 Zerglings? Yeah, only 4 Zerglings behind this, because it wasn't a 12 pool. It was I think a 16-15 build here from Rogue. But if there's a map that Rogue wants to play Roaches on, it is this one. It is a really short rush distance, which means that you can't get away with a lot of the greed that Rogue has gotten away with over the last couple games. And, well, on top of that, it's just it's a good build for that bit of aggression too, right? Not just a matter of not dying. Roaches are a very good tech to not die with when the Terran gets aggressive, but also, hey, look, if it is literally 3 screens left to right, you can get a lot of roaches across the map really fast. If you want to walk some queens, you can do that too, because they're pretty much never going to leave creep. And then, well, once all that happens, you say, okay, well, I'm just going to go kill you now. We have all the roaches across the map, and you just look to smash. You look to smash here with one of those roach timings that, well, that was so successful against Maru. And yes, Maru and Kier are very different players, but I got to imagine that Rogue he's kind of got Kier downloaded if he wants to, right? He will. Well, he understands how Kier plays. He understands the relative power levels because, again, these players are teammates. They practice together a good bit. Hey, Masamuni, thank you. Our first one to join. Yeah, Better Road. Most likely it would be Blackburn next. Romanticide is really kind of an even map for TVZ. So, Blackburn, though, there's some really scary 2-base pushes you can do with tanks and all that. You know what I'm really surprised about, though, by the way? Kier is getting a 3rd base here. I'm really, really surprised. We're just not seeing a 2-base tank push on this map. This is one of those things that, you know, I was talking to Steadfast earlier about this map when the map pool came out, and he's like, yeah, this map may be somewhat okay, and in fact, if you look up SC2 replay stats, somehow Zerg does have a, well, at least last week, I don't know about now, somehow Zerg has a positive win rate in Masters and GM on the ladder on this map, but I gotta imagine that's just because some sort of Roach all-in and whatever, because this map is terrible for Zerg. And there we go, Roach Warren on the way. Rogue will go for much more of a Roach focused build in this game. 1-1 Roach, all that fun stuff. The fancy shenanigans that he did pull against Maru. And here's going for a 3cc play. Hello, Blue Hair Critic. Welcome, welcome. Of course, we do have Rogue here. He's on a 2-0 lead. The format of course, if you're just joining us for this tournament, it is a best of 9, but it's not best of 9, which means first to 5 wins. It's a best of 9, which means every map gets played. And well, the players, they just earn money for every map that they do win. And I wish I could win. I wish I could win 20 bucks for just playing a map, but granted, I'd have to be a lot better than I am now. So there is that. Which means the normal prize pool is about 180 bucks plus Matcherino codes, and well, here's the thing, right? If Rogue is able to 9-0 here, and notionally if Kier is able to too, but that's not possible anymore, he's going to earn an additional $300 bounty for doing the full 9-0, for making that all kill happen, that clean sweep happen. And that's always pretty cool. But now we have Roach speed on the way. This force base, well, it's not going to get on up. That's fine, though. Queens are going to be able to push on out. Creeps. Oh, I love this. Look how quickly this creep is getting pushed. And part of that is the map, right? It is so easy to push creep on this map. Well, it's just a small map, so you don't have to do much of it. But also here, I mean, there are some pretty easy avenues. I do notice, of course, that Rogue, he's pushing creep in the opposite direction from where Kier has taken his base, which is a bit annoying. Ideally, he's going to push that creep really in the direction of Kier's third base immediately, so he can just get his roaches across the map that much faster. Maybe walk some queens as well, do that fun stuff. But this is going to be a 1-1 roach timing that Rogue is going for. He's just going to look to hit Kier with the sledgehammer of Zerg. And while this is a really short map, indeed, it's kind of hard to attack into that third base that Kier has taken. There's a speed zone, but it's choked on up, and if you have enough tanks, it's going to be difficult indeed to attack on into. This is not a Blackburn, where you can just kind of hit with that sledgehammer with that massive concave. It's actually kind of funny. Beckett and Blackburn are both pretty similar there for the Terrans, where, okay, the Zergling counterattack's not going to get anything. Where it's really wide open, right? Granted, Beckett's, or Blackburn's actually worse for a defensive Terran than Beckett is, though. Beckett, because, of course, you know, sure, maybe it's not the best one, but you have, of course, these chokes you can make something happen with. But oh, look at this Bailey nest on the way. So we're going to have, like, Roach Bane for the next bit of time. That's interesting. And Kier, I think he understands. I don't know whether he has seen the roaches on the map, but I think he understands just what's going to happen in this game. I mean, this is Beckett. A Zerg that looks to play this map cannot expect to play anything other than Roach Ravager. Realistically, I just don't think you have the reinforcement time to play kind of the mass trade Lingbane style that Zergs love to play on every other matchup. But I'm really surprised we have a Bailey nest on the way. I would have expected to see much more of the dark style, where we just get on into 2-2 rather quickly, get on into Hydras and Lurkers and all that fun stuff. Now we do have the pressure here from Rogue. He does only have, like, actually he doesn't have an army. This is Roach Ravager, and Rogue does not have an army supply lead. Granted, he has been teching up hard for this, but this is really weird. Generally, when you push with Roach Ravager, you're trying to hit a timing where you do have a army lead, but you have a big supply lead because Roaches are 2 supply, Ravagers are 3, and they're cheap, right? They're not supply efficient at all. But there we go. So I think someone said, let's see some beautiful Nidus action together with this Queen spewing. Well, we do have a Nidus on the way. We have the Hive on the way as well. But Rogue going for the more traditional Roach Ravager Lingbane composition. So he does have 1-2 on the way here. And we're going to have to see whether he does go on into quick ultras behind this, or whether he does something a little bit more. But I do enjoy this from Cure. It's not the most exciting game to watch, but he's playing this game exactly as he needs to. He says, look, if I don't trade whatsoever, I'm not going to get massively behind in supply. And actually, he's ahead in supply right now. But yeah, I'm not going to get massively behind in supply. I'm not going to take these terrible trades. I'm going to be totally fine. So we do have more bunkers on the way. More tank. How many tanks does he have? Only 5 tanks. Could be a couple more, but now he's getting ready to move out on the map here. The Banelings are here, but they are still slow Banes. And Kier here, as he's just about ready to max out, it is now time for him to get aggressive here on the map. We do have a Nidus going on up on the left-hand side. I think that's just for Zerglings, but now Banelings come rolling on in. The Biles are going to be decent. Now, most tanks are going to unsiege it, but this is going to have to be a leapfrog, because we talk about creep, we talk about pushes, we talk about how close these maps are, these bases are to each other. This is still a really good creep spread here from Rogue. So it's going to take a little bit of time here for Kier to really push on through. And now we have a Nidus going on up into the main base. And this is maybe going to be a little bit of a problem. Massive flanks coming on in. Bailey's from every position, which means to get on the tanks in the back line. The tanks are just going down immediately. Kier has to pick on up. The Biles are going to land on top of a bunch of these medevacs, but not enough to kill them all off. Yes, Rogue did lose a base, but he still has 5. And this army from Kier was evaporated by all of the Lings, all the Banelings, all the Roaches. And this fight was just not good. Now, oh, he's not going to micro well enough either. The rest of the Banelings will make the connection. Biles will not land, though. And now Rogue, he has a Spire on the way. He has Vipers on the way. He is sitting pretty here in this game. Okay, yeah, this Nidus will not get up. Okay, I guess that's the second Nidus. It's like, man, this Nidus feels like it's still going up, but now I guess both were dealt with. Which means that, well, yeah, Kier invested in the Nidus. I don't think he even has anything in that Nidus. It's really just a distraction technique more than anything else. And yeah, this drop on the right-hand side is not going to get anything done. But what it has done is bought Kier maybe a little bit of time to push this creep back. But, man, shout out to Rogue's creep spread. He's done a fantastic job of making sure that it stays up, that it stays starting, and make sure that really that the creep spread is at such a position that Kier really can't push on in. Not really. All right, but now we have 2-3 on the way. Ultras are going to be the tech path of choice here for this game. And, well, SCVs are getting, they're getting creeped on a little bit. But Kier does have his 4th base ready. He does have he does have what he needs to play into this game a little bit more. We're not going to see the rampant, unchecked aggression from Rogue that we saw in the previous games. Right, where it was just Zerglings and Banelings running on into a 3rd base and just kind of slowly killing it. Now we do Banelings. They're going to look to crash on in here. And they're going to be somewhat successful. But the army here from Kier is still going to stand strong. And the tanks, they may look to siege on up. No, they won't. I'm actually really surprised that these rocks were taken down here on the right-hand side. I would kind of expect to see Cure go on in there and, well, keep the tanks on the high ground, right? Make use of those destructible rocks. But no, he's just going to break it on down and use this as a fantastic pushing position. And this is the position where he's really starting to try to get aggressive on this map. But now, bro, he's just going for a big break here. He's got Ultras, he got Zerglings, he got Banelings. Banelings, though, they're not going to join in really as well as they would like. And Ultras, they ran away for the brief moment. But now, of course, we have the Vipers here. Blinding Clouds mean these tanks get nothing done. And Rogue's going to break it once again. But these traits are a lot better. And this drop on the left-hand side is getting damage done. Oh, Rogue destroyed those rocks. Never mind. All right, here. So now the Ultras, they're looking to take the fight, but they don't have +3 upgrades yet. So, well, they don't fight totally well. I mean, they're 2-4 right now, but they will be better. And this is where the map this is where the map gets a little bit dicier. Now that tank's going to get abducted immediately. We'll go on down. The Biles are not going to land. But this map, the rush distance, the push distance on this map is so damn small. It is so hard to take these fights. And the base of Rogue will go on down here. So maybe Rogue took a good enough fight that he's going to be able to continue this and try to snowball this. But with the Liberator here, it's not going to be all that easy. But we still have Biles, though. We still have Ravagers. So that... Oh, well, he's not going to get it. Never mind. So for the moment here, well, now the Liberator will go on down. Ultras, they're getting stuck behind the Ravagers. And the push here from Cure is a lot stronger than the rally from Rogue. He's trying to break this. He's trying to do what he can, as he does have those upgrades. But it's not going to be good enough here. Everything is going down. Zerglings, though, getting a good surround here. And I mean, these are 2/3 Zerglings. They do have... No, they don't actually. So the Zerglings are not nearly as powerful as they otherwise would be. They don't have crack, and they do not have +3. But here, for the first time in the series, he is looking in an advantageous position. He has his push going on in. His army is powerful indeed. He has his 4 bases. And in fact, he does have an army supply lead. And it's only a 10-worker lead here for Rogue. As Rogue, he is having to reestablish his bases. But man, getting off of... really getting to 5 bases, but getting off of 5 bases even more so is extremely hard to do on this map. Realistically, you're going to have one more, but I mean, you take upper left, good luck on that one. You're right next to the Terran Expo. Middle right, good luck on that one. You're right next to the Terran expansion. It's so hard to, just with the rally distance, it's so hard to take. Now we have Rogue here looking to take the fight. Really good Bailey connections. And notice Rogue, he spent all of his Viper energy on parasitic bombs, not on blinding clouds. So the tanks were able to get shots off, but a lot of these medevacs are getting very low. Another parasitic bomb should knock a bunch of medevacs down from the sky. And when there's no healing, I mean, this army here from Cure is not nearly as powerful as it otherwise would be. But now we do have Cure looking to take this extra base. If he's allowed to take this base, I think actually, yeah, this is just coming on in from his main base. He's allowed to take this position here as a position that he's A, trying to push from, but B, he's mining from. I mean, it is not a good situation for Rogue, right? Now, shout out to Rogue for not dying in this game. That should be stated. But again, this map, this is kind of how we see this map shaking out. We see Zergs maybe survive for a while, and then the map gets smaller. Then Terran starts expanding more, and then it just gets worse and worse there for the Zerg player. Now, okay, this is only a 4-base Terran, so if Rogue can break a base, if Rogue can actually knock the command center down, that's going to be rather nice indeed. Nice blinding clouds there on top of one of the tanks. The other one, well, it's going to keep firing, but as Rogue gets on it immediately, parasitic bombs on top of these medevacs that were all repaired, by the way. And so Rogue's going to try to break on in here. He's actually taking a really good fight. He's going to be able to break the base for the time being. The Ultra is actually fighting really well on into this small amount of bio. And is Rogue pulling a rabbit? Rogue's pulling a rabbit from a hat. This is insane. This is not a fight that I expected him to take. This is not a game that I expected him to win. But sitting here, he's not going to get the command center just yet. He's not going to get the orbital. But he took an incredible fight. 18 workers go down. Rogue here, he's on a 50 supply lead all of a sudden. He's got a 30 army supply lead. He has this base reestablished. He has the base on the upper left. He's going to keep that. He's going to take that rather soon. And this is not the way this game I expected it to go. All right, apparently the way you play this game is you just get up to 9 ultras and who cares is kind of what I'm hearing, which is really weird, but you know, sure, if it works for Rogue, it works apparently. So now we will have this Zerg army, I think, trying to move on to the right-hand side. I do apologize for the lag a little bit. This is just NA to Korea, so NA to USD. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying. But okay, so we will have these Zerglings. They're going to move on in here into this bunker, try to knock the third base down. But I mean, there's not a lot of mining here at the end of the day anyways. Do we have crack? Still no cracklings, which is, again, a big mistake. Now, banelings are going to look to roll on in here. It's not... This is like one baneling for SCV, so really not even going to get all that much. That being said, 16 workers will go on down. And now, Cure, he's a little bit broke. Actually, he's a lot broke. His economy is so far inferior to that of what the Zerg has that we may slowly get on into a game like we saw in game number 1, where really it was not a game of armies. I mean, it was. But this really was not a game of armies anymore. It was a game of economy, and it was a game that Rogue was winning handily. Now we have Rogue. He's going to look to try to take this fight, but with the Ghost out, it's a lot harder, especially moving around this choke to get on top of things. But now banelings come rolling on in from every side. Parasitic bombs on top of all of these medevacs as they take lots of damage. And Cure, his army is just not good enough. Some of the Ghosts were safe, and they will try to get some snipes off. But Zergling's getting on top of this. Baneling's on top of things as well. GG Rogue, he takes the map he was not supposed to win, and now... And here we are spawning in the upper left. In the blue, he is, of course, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the current GSL champion. He is Rogue. And his opponent here spotting the bottom right in the red. He is his teammates, the online warrior, Cure. I mean, yes, Aligulac is not the Bible, but it is a decent, it's the best thing we have in terms of approximating player relative strength across regions. And I don't think anyone's gonna argue with you if you say Raynor or Cyril. Well, maybe not Cyril as much. He hasn't had the best 2020, but I don't think anyone's gonna argue with you. You say Raynor's the best player in the world right now. Now, Clem, he's looking good. He's looking damn good. And the fact that he has not lost a series to Raynor or Cyril in the last month is massive. If only he could get his TVP and his TVT up to a similar level, I would agree that he's the best player in the world. But considering he does struggle in those other two matchups against Koreans, I don't know if I put him at number 1, even if Aligulac has him right there. But when Cyril was absolutely dominant, yeah, he absolutely did deserve the number 1 in the world spot. He was the best player in the world, and he did deserve that number 1 Aligulac spot. But yes, Aligulac does favor Europeans, really because they play more in measured cups and cups that matter against each other, so that does happen. You do have that bit of inflation there. We should probably talk about this game once again. Rogue, he's going for a pull first, and this is interesting, right? This is not something we normally see. Did he get any Zerglings? Okay, so he did, but not all that fast. So I guess it's really interesting. Right, as we look at this, Kira's gone, or excuse me, Rogue has gone for a pool first in every game in this series, and he hasn't really done much with it. It's just been a safe play. I mean, he held the 2 racks just fine, but he's not even trying to get a command center cancel. He's just going for a really fast speed to give some utility on the map. But the interesting thing here is we have players like Solar, who, by the way, also have world-class ZVT. I'd put him up there in the top couple players that have the best ZVT in the world. And he's going for the very opposite. He's delaying his gas as long as possible. He's going for a 4-minute speed, under the idea that honestly Terrans aren't going to get all that aggressive before 4 minutes for the most part. And well, more drones are better than less drones. So it's really interesting here to see probably two of the best players, at least the 2 best Koreans in this matchup, play very different styles in this series. Now again, I don't know whether this is a Rogue going for something where he's like, yeah, my opponent, I know Cure, I know what he likes to do, and I'm just going to play a style that's really good against what he likes to do, or what? And yes, Cure did go for the 3cc build in this game. 3cc into Hellion Banshee is going to be the name of the game here. And I do like this from Rogue. Notice that he has taken the linear third. This is something that really has almost become the standard at this point, but not everyone does it. Solar, in fact, he does tend to take the triangular third more than the linear one. But taking this third here, taking this linear third, it does a couple things for you. It means you have a safe base to fall back to eventually if you do want to take that triangular third, although really realistically we'll see Rogue take the 9 o'clock fourth base anyways. But it also allows you to push creep spread around the doodads, which means any sort of tank push is going to be that much less impactful. It looks like Rogue on this map, he will go for Mutiling Bane once again, as I guess going Roaches was kind of just a thing against Maru, which I think is fair. I think Rogue did have to throw something out. It did feel like Maru was very good in that matchup, and I mean, he almost broke Raynor, who is the best player in the world. I don't think that's a question, at least currently. So breaking Raynor there in that style, it did make sense that that Rogue was going to have to do something a little bit more aggressive that would allow him to take an advantage into the late game if the game did get there. Because again, Maru in the late game in DBZ, when he gets down to like 44 SCVs and it's just this massive 155, 160 supply army of 3/3 ghost tanks, all that fun stuff, he's a difficult nut to crack. He's a difficult player to play against. Now we do have the Banshees going on in, and this just seems to be Rogue's style. 2 spores in the main base against Selling Banshee. Interesting. No, TBD forever. Rogue has been playing, for the most part, he's been playing Mutiling. He's been playing Mutiling Bane for the most part. Now, he did play one Roach game, but that was a game... Oh, nice around there. Looks like Rogue was able to knock down all the Hellions. Yeah, all the Hellions that were there sharking around on the map. And he gets Banshee as well. Yeah, this has been... This really has not been much of a... We saw it on Beckett, but that's Beckett, and you really just can't get away with Mutiling Bane in the early to mid game. The pushing power is just too strong from the Terran. So he had to go Roach Ravager into Roach Ravager Bane into Ultras, and that worked out pretty well for him. But it was not a really aggressive game like what we saw against Mario. Yeah, I know, right? Cynical Death. It's kind of... You talk about that, it's really funny. Everyone's talking about, oh, Rogue. I guess in part this was Tasteless kind of miscalling that game. No, miscalling that series. But everyone's talking about, oh, this is a new way to play Zerg. And that's really not. 1/1 Roach Ravager is a thing, and it's been a thing since the start of Legacy of the Void. It's even a thing before that. Now Rogue's going to look to take this fight here. Bailings, though, that Widowmine shot's going to be fantastic. That being said, though, even with that Rogue, he will be able to force cure back here. And really, we didn't even see that much creep go down, so Rogue, he's pretty happy. But yeah, 1/1 Roach is just not... It's not a new build. In fact, I didn't really look at the build orders that closely, but if we're to trust Lambo, which in stuff like this we will, it's not even like Rogue was going for a very explicit build. He was just kind of doing the whole, yeah, 1/1, we're going to get it when we need to, whatever. It's not like a very defined, I take, you know, this here, and this here, and this here, and I'm going to hit this crispest, this most crisp timing. It's just, I think 1/1 Roach is good against the Terran player. I'm going to get on into that as my competition. Not even like a Vanya level 1/1 all-in or something where he did beat TY in that one game back on the gray map. Oh, what was it? Over something? Not Overgrowth. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Maybe he was VHT, but not to the point where like it's some really defined specific timing build that he just all into Maru over and over again. It was just kind of a normal Roach build. Maybe cut a little drones a little bit, but that was just about it. But now we have this big run by coming on in. This will force the army here from Cure back for the time being, and I do apologize for the lag we're getting here today, but so long as it does not mess with the players, we're going to be fine. Again, this is just the trials and travails of casting a game when you're in East Coast US and the games are on Korea. All right, so Banelings are going to look to roll on in here, and a nice move there from Rogue. It's minimum trades for maximum damage. And we're just going to see more of that as Rogue just play this style that was first started by he who shall not be named. Right, where you go and you just run a little bit to Ling Bane into the army while they're trying to push, while they're right on the edge of creep. And you're not really committing to this big fight. You're just trying to trade out. So eventually, when you do take the big fight, the Terran army is not nearly as powerful as it once was. But this is actually a problem here. Rogue has forgotten his +2 attack. And yes, Banelings, they don't care about attack upgrades as much as other compositions. I mean, yes, they do benefit from them, but they don't care as much because, again, splash damage is a thing. No big deal. You still want it. You still want that extra damage, and you still want to be able to get the damage done that you're looking for. So there we go. +2 is now on the way, but Rogue is going to have a fairly decent +2 versus +2 armor versus the 2/2, but +2 attack lacking is going to be a bit annoying indeed. And these mutas have also not gotten a lot done. So what we do see here is in this series, Kyr's looked better and better in every game, but he still hasn't looked great. His splits have not exactly been on point. Some of his decision making has not been on point either. He does have a 4th base though. He does have his 3/3 on the way. We should see a 5th base getting started soon, I think. But a Rogue is very happy to play these extremely passive styles. Now he's going to run some Banelings on in, and he's going to, once again, he will supply block here, getting some decent trades there. Now, now we have Banelings rolling on in, but there are Widow Mines, and we don't have, the splits are actually going to be somewhat good. Okay, whatever. 4 workers do go down. Not really going to be the best move there from Rogue, but he has money to burn. He has money to spend. He has, what is this? He has 5 bases, 6 bases on the way. And yeah, 100 drones here on the map. Rogue has a fantastic economy. It means his army's not all that big. In fact, he's down 40 army supply right now. But honestly, if he's on creep, the supply lead doesn't really matter. I mean, it does, but Lingbane is just one of the most supply efficient compositions in the game. You just run like 40 Banelings into stuff, and it's probably going to die. But Kyr can't even push because the mutas are just, they're dominant here on this map. They are every time Kyr looks to push the mutas, they just kind of shark around. They say, yeah, you don't get to do that. Oh, nice Widow Mine. Nice hidden Widow Mine there on top of the gas. But no, Rogue, he's got better eyes than I. He will see that. And he's going to be totally fine. And now he's going to just camp the production. He says, look, Kyr, if you want to be in this game, if you want to be able to do this push, do all this fun stuff, I'm just going to make it so you can't really ever produce. Right? Because, of course, a camp Terran is a dead Terran. Oh, I love this from Kyr. He realizes just how much Rogue has committed to... oh, there we go. Finally, we have a run by going on in. And that's going to be 11 SCVs and the full wall going down once again here. But I think he's realized just how heavily Rogue has committed to muta tech and has been doing that in all these games. Oh, he's going to get another base too. So this was a six base, something like that? But anyway, it will get targeted on down. These Banelings are not going to be allowed to connect here. And now Kyr, he has a really strong push. Once again, this base will be delayed. Will be canceled this time, not killed. But Kyr, he's actually in a position of strength this game. He does have 3/3 far in advance of his opponent's 3/3. And in fact, it's going to be 2/3 for quite a while. We don't even have +3 attack on the way here for Rogue. But look, Kyr has knocked down a couple bases. He has actually done a really good job here. The Banelings are going to connect, but there's still plenty where that came from Kyr. And Rogue, well, this is not the best fight. Oh, he's going to get a kill on that too. Baneling connections are not going to, or Widow Mine connections are not going to be the best. And now the Ultras, well, they're going to be able to connect to that army in some shape or form. But now the drop's just going to move on in the main base. And yeah, this is just Kyr all over the map. This is Kyr looking the best that he's looked in this entire series thus far. We don't have +3 armor yet, so this bio is just killing everything. 13 workers are going down. And yeah, we do see Rogue, he's trying to defend this. And his supply is still somewhat decent, but somewhat decent supply is not good supply. Rogue's going to lose another base. Season to drop back down to 5 bases. 5 bases at 13 minutes in the game is not where you want to be. And once again, okay, we do have crack on this game. At the very least, the Zerglings are that much more powerful, but 22 workers have gone down. It's still Rogue with a worker lead, but he's now at half the army supply of his opponent. And yes, it is supply efficiency. There's a thing. But there's not a lot of gas here for Rogue. That's the big deal. Yes, Rogue does have a bank, but his main base is, I believe his main base is mined out on gas. I would not be surprised if that is the case. Oh no, we still have gas there, but actually, oh, we have plenty of gas. Never mind. But Rogue does need to get more gas, right? He is mining more than his opponent, sure, but this is a gas-expensive army. Lings, Banes, mutas, all that fun stuff. Ultras as well, 300, cost 300 gas there. That's a lot of gas that you need to make sure that you're able to afford this game. You're able to stay in this game. And Rogue is going to burn almost his entire bank on rebuilding that next army, on rebuilding his bases, making sure that he has what he needs. So not just rebuilding his bases, taking a couple extra, because why not? Now he's going to look to roll on in here. Zergling's Banelings coming on in from every direction. The Widowmine shots are actually going to be really, really good. The Banelings will not be able to get the connections that they are looking for. One Ultra will go down as well. If we look at trades here, it is a 9,000 resource differential here for Cure in the favor of him. And that does mean that this is actually really the best game that we've seen Cure play all day. Those Baneling connections are going to be a little bit better though, but all the Banelings are not there at the same time. Ultras are going to try to take the fight, but they don't have additional attacks at this point, so they're not really that great. And well, the army of Cure will not be broken, but we do have supplies that are equalizing just a little bit. That was a good enough trade there for Rogue that will be able to keep the base alive. We'll be able to stay alive, and we'll be able to spread creep a little bit further to make sure that he gets everything what he needs. And every minute that this happens, the closer he gets to 3-3, the closer he gets to actually having upgrade parity and maybe making this game happen. Because again, the fact that he's close on supply is the big deal, right? The fact that he's close on army supply, that's the thing we're looking at more than anything else. Because yeah, you can fight 10, 15, 20 army supply down to the Zerg player if you're on creep. But when it's 40, like what we saw, that's a bit more problematic. Because oh, what am I just kind of ran on into the mineral line? That's a bit annoying. Really good job there. Hey, Mesamune, thanks so much, and thank you for getting to level 10 as well. I think that's what that one is. That one. Oh, contributing. Oh, so you bought some stuff too. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that. Everything you all do to get on, get through the tutorial, get to level 10. That is massive for us. It really helps us out there. But now we do have Rogue. He's going to push on in, looking for this break, but these ultras are getting rather low indeed, and that's not really going to be the fight that Rogue was looking for. Once again, he will push his opponent off creep, and once again, he does equalize the supply. So with the superior income that he does have, well, he's in a decent spot. That makes that the superior income for a moment at the very least was equalizing here. So we look at resources lost. The gap is staying where it is. Right, it's no longer, it's not climbing, it's not going on to 10, 11, 12,000, it's just about 9. And that does mean that Kirky's been able to trade evenly, maybe even a bit advantageously over the last several minutes, as he does have that +3 actually done, and I love this. We don't have Ghosts on the way, surprisingly enough. Kirky's not going on into that just yet, which means that these mutas are going to continue to be incredibly advantageous, incredibly effective, which does mean that getting +3 mutas is just going to be really, really strong. Now notice this Cure, he's going to rotate around on onto the right-hand side as he realizes that maybe I don't want to push on into that left-hand side anymore. Bailey's going to look to spill on in, and they're going to get decent trades. Actually, the Widowmines there are going to not get anything here whatsoever. Now this Widowmine's going to get something done, but now it's Rogue. He's going to come crashing on in. Bailey's are going to get on top of most of the Marines, so it's just Marauders now, which means, well, the mutas, they'll be able to fight that. No big deal indeed. And yes, there are more Widowmines on the field, and yes, Widowmines are actually surprisingly good against Ultras, because they do set damage regardless of HP, regardless of armor. But oh, once again, Rogue somehow, it looks like he's going to snowball this game too. Cure was looking the best that he has in this series, but Rogue says, you know, I don't really care. I'm just simply better. If we get on into the late game, I'm just going to win. Now these mutas, they're going to dive on top of this missile turret, and they will get it. Not too much in economy though, but they will be able to knock the missile turret down, and that is repairs that you have to afford. And now they're just going to sit here because Rogue's got a 40 army supply lead. And that is going to be that. Hey, unfortunately here, that was such a good move. This was such a good game here from Cure. He looked really good. I mean, he got his bases on time. He got his upgrades on time. He got the additional missile turrets to really deal with these mutas. A lot of mutas will lose their lives to those missile turrets. But at the end of the day, Rogue, well, he has let the sheer weight of his economy pile on through. In fact, the last couple trades, he's taken positive trades. As we do have Zerglings are going to look to surround that the planetary. They will force a planetary cancel on the upper right-hand side. Also, Danya, please keep things in English. We cannot moderate what you're saying in Russian or in Cyrillic, whatever it is. Yeah, I think that's really what it was. Kira did not really advance his tech all that much. He did not get into ghosts or liberators or tanks or anything like that. This was just Biomine, which is a powerful composition, and you can win games with it, but not all that great. Oh, a lot of mutas will go down. How many mutas do we have on the field? Only 11. As the mutas, they run into the meat grinder of a bunch of stimmed bio and missile turrets. But Kier now, he will lose that 5th base. Now, granted, he should be able to retake it immediately, but that means he doesn't get a 6th. Which, you know, you want that. You do want to get on into 6 bases in this game. As Rogue, he's just running away with the economy. He has every base on his map, on his side of the map. He probably is going to try to take the upper right-hand side base too, and deny money from Kier. Kier is very close to money out. Here's 3rd base. He's running out of mineral patches. It's only got 3 mineral patches there. Now we have Ling Bane Ultras. They're going to try to dive on in. And oh, I love this. He's actually going to pick up a lot of these SCVs. The Widowmines are actually going to be really good here. A lot of these families are going to go on down. And this bust is just not going to work from Rogue. But does it even matter here? Kier is on 35 SCVs. He's down 40 army supply. There are still more Ultras, more Mutas. Where that came from. Yes, the base is going to lift on up and save a bunch of those SCVs, but it will still go on down. The Mutas are powerful indeed, as well. The SCVs are going to get dropped off in time. That's going to be nice. But it is 190 supply to 90 here, as Rogue just looks abjectly dominant. This is honestly, this looks even more. Oh no, the base goes down. Ultras are fighting that base. It's now a 3-base Terran. There's no economy here for Kier. Not really. Oh man, Kier looks so good, but it's not going to be enough. GG, Rogue. Yeah, we're looking at a 4-0 here, and even in the games that Kier has looked good, I have not been it hasn't mattered. Rogue is taking the late game, and this is the first game that we do see Rogue. He's not going pool first. Interesting. Hey Masamune, thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting that done. $33 remain. But look at this. We got a 2-1-1 of a sort happening here from Kieran. And notice he's hiding his barracks. So now Rogue for the moment, he's like, oh, are you 2-raxing me on this game? But no, he will see it, of course, that there's a command center on the way. But this is a 2-1-1 here. And this is not a build we see all that often. And for that reason, it can be powerful. Now, it's not a guarantee, but it can be powerful. You can kill a Zerg with it, especially if they're just not paying attention. Or if they don't get the scout off that they need to. So this is CC first into a 2-1-1, which is probably the greediest version of it, and it does mean that Kier may be able to get something done here. But of course, Kier and Rogue are teammates, and they should understand. I mean, A, you play the game enough. At this level, you do understand how this game does go, but also, I mean, I assume these players practice enough that, well, they should be aware of how their opponents like to play. Now, getting a gold base and against the 2-1-1 seems a bit dicey, because you just kind of land the 2-1-1 out on the other side of the minerals, and well, you're really never going to clear that out. So it's effectively going to be a 2-base Zerg, even if they do take that gold. And I don't think you're going to be able to mine enough out of it to really make it worthwhile. But of course, I mean, Rogue's the GSL champion. I'm not. We're going to have to see exactly what he can make work here. All right, so now we do have the 3rd base here. It's done, which means Rogue, he's going to pull a decent amount of his, pull a decent amount of drones on in there onto the 3rd base. So just really, you want to maximize your gold base as quick as possible. You want to get on up to 12 workers there as quick as possible to make sure that you can actually mine like you need to. And this will be a roach game. That makes sense. There is a rather quick rush distance here between the natural and the natural across the low ground, assuming you skip the speed zones. And you want a lot of bulk early on in a game like this. Right, you want to make sure you have a bunch of roaches do stuff like that, because, well, Terran pushes are scary in this map, and you need to be able to break them in some way, shape, or form. But, well, Rogue is not aware that this is a 2-1-1. Actually, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a problem here. He's droning up, but he does have some roaches on the way. Those roaches, though, they're going to be late, and this 2-1-1, I mean, it looks to hit with a sledgehammer immediately. Right, that's the goal. Right, you want to hit as soon as possible, and you want to snowball ASAP. After that, well, whatever. So we do have, of course, these a bunch of Marines to moving across the map with the medevacs here. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to have what we need. We have 5 roaches on the map, more on the way. And, okay, never mind. we're going to be fine. With the queens here, with the roaches getting pulled, this 2-1 is not going to get anything done. Now, it's going to try to abuse the mobility advantage. Roaches before roach speed, they're not all that fast, even on creep. I mean, a roach speed only applies off a creep. But even on creep, roaches are not incredibly fast here. So that is something that Cure can look to abuse. Maybe jump between the main and another base. But this is a very linear expansion path, right? So you can't just abuse the high ground, low ground position, right? If Rogue had taken a more aggressive third base, you can't really abuse that. To go high ground, low ground, and just kind of bump around and, well, try to split Rogue out that way. So this will be 1-1 on the way. Eventually, we have, yeah, there we go, 1-1 on the way here. And Rogue is just going to look to build a large amount of roaches, move across the map, and smash his opponent. Now, I do like this. So Cure, for the first time, he will see that there is, in fact, a gold base. So he's going to try to drop on the other side, but, well, roaches are going to be able to deal with that. And this is one of the benefits, of course, of playing a ranged composition. You can deal with these compositions that just want to sit Marines on the other side of the map a little bit better. But hey, a queen will go down, and that's something. Is Cure, he's looking to amp up the aggression in an extreme amount here. Now, 1-1, of course, is on the way. We did mention that. And this is kind of all, actually, this isn't all in here from Cure. Yes, he does have his third base on the way, but this is a single eBay build. Right, so +1 stim combat shield timing, much like what you would see in TVP, for example. We have this drop here. Cure, he's just got his drop in the main base, and, well, Rogue is aware of it, but Cure's not dropping, and that just keeps roaches in the main base here. Now, we do, of course, have a third base done, but it's not anywhere near into position. And we're starting to hit the point where the roach supply is just massing out. Oh, I like this. It's going to be Burrow here in this game, which means Rogue, he's going to try to get some harassment damage done as well. At the very least, he's going to hope to maybe just get on top of some tanks, Burrow under them, things like that. And this 2-1 is finally getting some damage done. Trading pretty well against the roaches, because, again, the roaches don't have their upgrades yet. And when you're +1 upgrade and you got stim, all that fun stuff, it's a fantastic move. But look at this. Someone was talking about Nidus positions on this map. Well, we got a Nidus network on the way. And how much vision does Cure have of his main base? He doesn't. Okay, so there actually is a Nidus spot here on the main base that Rogue may be able to take advantage of, as he is sending an Overlord to go check that out, to scout out a position where he will be able to drop that Nidus. So that's going to be nice. So now we have the bios going to stim on in here. There are a lot of roaches, though. They do have 1-1, so they have an upgrade. They have a 1 upgrade lead. They have a supply lead here, and this is just not going to work here for Cure. He's going to stim on in, but the roaches will be able to fight that off rather easily. On the other bottom side of the map, too, this drop is not going to get anything done here. Burrow and Roach Burrow just about done, and we have vision in the main base, but okay, never mind. Cure also has vision of the rest of his main base now. He's well aware that the Nidus may be a possibility, and he says, no, not in my game. Yes, Rogue is 4-0 up, but this is actually only the second game that he's built roaches. Only the first game that he's really committed to a 1-1 roach timing, but oh, he's just gonna try to dive on in here. These tanks are in a fantastic position with the missile turret as well, but oh, he's gonna try to burrow on in. That's just not gonna work. Rogue, are you committing a little bit too hard? I think you're committing a little bit too hard, but no, he's only distracting here as the roaches will find their way on into the main base. But it looks like, okay, so there are Rogue is winning in 2 positions, but Cure is winning in 1. So this third base, well, 4th base, I guess. But what was a third base is now going to get broken. And actually, no, it looks like the bio on the bottom side is also winning that fight. So 21 SDVs have died, and that's something. It looks like this 4th base will go on down, or really what was the 3rd base will go on down as well. So all else being equal, Cure's not unhappy with this. Alright, a bunch more roaches are going to pop out of this Nidus here. And let's see them just burrow on top of the tank. No, they're just going to back on out, taking too much splash damage. Rogue, for a question here from FBGR, Rogue is on, yeah, he was on 5 gas, now he's going up to 6. But anyway, 2-2 just about done here. Oh, here's a big deal. Cure only just now starting his 2-2. Yeah, he had somewhat equivalent upgrades, and that was fine. But now Rogue has a 2 upgrade lead. He will get an infestation pit. He's got his 4th base getting retaken here in the gold. It was his 3rd base, now it's going to be his 4th. And I mean, you got a 2 upgrade lead. Here's just going to have to turtle on up, which means Rogue has the map. He can take his 5th base rather easily. He can get into Hydra Lurker if that's what he wants to. And he's just going to be untouched on the map. Now, he did not break Cure, which is already better than what we saw Maru, the hand that Maru got dealt. But he got 22 workers. He massively delayed and denied the economy here of Cure. And considering the fact that Cure already did commit to an aggressive play, he did take his 3rd base rather late. Well, Rogue's pretty happy, even if he did not maybe take the best trade running on into those tanks. This is a best of 9, Danya, so we're going to play all 9 games. If Rogue wins this game, well, he's going to have won 5 games. It means he's going to be $100 richer instead of $80 richer. As the way this works is it's a best of 9, all maps played, $20 for the map winner, $0 for the map loser. And we play 9 games. If Rogue does manage to 9-0, which has never been happened, the closest we've got was a 10-1 in a best of 11 in this format. Where Hurricane did take 1 map, and now we have the Roaches. They're going to pop on out here, and they do have an upgrade lead. They do have a 2 upgrade lead, but there's just a lot of stim bios. They really can't take the fight they're looking for, and this is actually going to be a fantastic trade here for Cure. But now the rest of the Roaches and the Ravagers, or the Roaches and the Ravagers, they're going to come piling on in, and Cure's going to have to back up now. Rogue really just taking that fight to make sure that he could defend his creep spread, which was the ideal there. Yes. Maybe that's not the best fight here for Rogue, but if he can keep his creep spread defended, it's that much more difficult for Cure to push on out. Now, Cure does not have his 4th base on the way. It's still on 3 bases, and that's a problem, theoretically. But he does have a scary army. But this is an army that Rogue cannot fight with what he has at the moment. Now, it's not a fight army he won't ever be able to fight. You know, the Roaches, they're going to find these tanks. The 1 tank will go down, 2nd tank's going to go down, but now the Roaches will go on. Hey, are they going to get a 3rd? They will. Okay, you know what? Now they're going to reset it. It's now 4 tanks. 5 tanks on the map instead of 9. And that's going to be nice, as we do have this drop on into the natural here, getting a lot of damage done. Roach is not really responding in time. And this is 2-2 bio against 2-2 Roach Ravager. So once again, the bio is actually going to trade rather well. As on the 3rd base, the gold base is going to get broken. And Cure, it looks like he's going to punish Rogue here for his Roach madness. His Roach insanity. By now, the tanks are going to seize it off once again. Cure has gotten another base. It's only a 4-base Zerg here. And yes, he does have 1-2-2. But he has no Vipers. He has no he has Lurker texture, but no Lurkers. This economy has been smashed. He's sitting here. He's only on 67 workers. Files are going to land, and this army, oh, well, okay, that's going to be a tank. But this army here from Rogue is not as powerful as it was a couple minutes ago. And this sieged up position here from Cure is really scary. But every time I've said that in this series thus far, I'm like, Rogue, I don't know. Cure's pushing really strong. Cure just takes the fight, and Rogue just takes the fight. Does not really matter anyways. It looks like he's going to try to do that here. Rogues are going to burrow on top of all the tanks. Zergling's getting the surround. 1 tank, 2 tanks goes down, and this is just going to be a massive surround here. Rogue's going to try to pick up what he can. Oh, the Files are going to get a medevac too. And suddenly, once again, Rogue has a supply lead. He has an eco lead. He's sitting here plus 50 supply, and everything I said about, well, Cure looking damn good and in a chokehold position. Well, that's not as true as it was anymore. That was a really good engage there by Rogue. Burrowing on top of all the tanks, denied all their fire, and then just getting on top of everything else. Really, really good fight there from Rogue. All right, so now we have Lurkers on the way. We do Lurker range is done. Lurker burrow speed is on the way here, and we probably should see, well, +3 attack. I think is going to be the upgrade of choice. As Rogue is absolutely stabilized, he was able to keep his 4 bases alive. He is in fact able to. Okay, well those Roaches are not going to get a lot done. I mean, I admire the temerity of their Rogue, but those Roaches, well, actually, they're going to trade decently. Never mind, his math is right and mine's wrong. It's not going to win. but he did force 2 scans, and he was able to knock down most of that drop. So he's going to be totally fine there. Now, Kier does have his 5th base up, and that is something. But again, Rogue, he's got a decent base count here. It's not perfect. He does want to take, most likely, he wants to, yeah, he is actually taking that. Okay. He's taking that, what do we want to call that? That, what, 4, 5 o'clock, that interior 5 o'clock base. So he does have that. And with the, well, honestly, with lurkers there in the choke, he's really going to be able to defend that. But it's funny, I talk about how much I love this map, and Zergs, they're like, what are you talking about? It's so pushable, it's so hard to break the Terran, but I love this map as a viewer because of how the games get later on, right? When the map opens on up here, when the rocks get taken down, the map is so dynamic, it's so wide open, and it's just, battles happen all over the place. It's really cool. It reminds me of a Golden Wall, but now we do this fight coming on in, and the lurkers, they're not really in position yet. There are not a ton of them in this base. We'll go on down. Nice push for here from Kier, getting in position in time, and this queen's going to go down too, which is unfortunate. And it's, I'm really surprised that we do see Rogue. He's taking that base once again. Oh, that's where his lurkers are. He's going to knock down the 4th base of Kier, and suddenly that makes losing that 6th base of Rogue that much more useful. So now we do this push coming on into the main base. How many lurkers do we have? Enough, but not in the front. Scans will be able to stay alive here. And Kier, you know what? He's taking a pretty good fight. At the end of the day, he is taking a somewhat good fight here. The lurkers here on the left-hand side, they are burrowing on up. Now these lurkers in the defense, well, they're doing what they can. As this Nidus is going to pop on into the main base as well. We do have 5 lurkers in this base, and oh man, Rogue, he's going to be able to camp the production here. So yes, the army of Rogue, of Kier is pushing on in. The lurkers are going to burrow on in once again, which means these tanks are going to get bopped down immediately. Lurkers from abroad are coming back home. We have blinding clouds as well. It looks like Kier is going to get broken, at the very least, until his reinforcements come on in. But this is a Terran with a camp production. This is a 3-base Terran who really does not have that much economy. As we continue to have more and more lurkers, as the tank count continues to get reset. You know what I was saying about, oh, Kier looks in a really good position, but I've said that before, and Rogue just won the game anyways? Well, I'm going to say it again. So again, we do have more scans here trying to knock these lurkers down, but, well, they're really just not knocking the lurkers down. And with the Vipers here, the tanks are just eventually going to die. And this is looking fantastic for Rogue. I mean, yeah, is his economy as good as it could be? No, it could be a lot better. Do these Zerglings deal with drops? No, they don't. But what they do is provide an early warning system, and they do tell Rogue where he needs to put his lurkers. So now we will have Kier. Looks like he wants to stim on top of these lurkers, but that's not going to be all that successful. They're like 6 lurkers here. They have 3-3, by the way. 3-3 lurkers are GXly terrifying. Now, granted, this is only a 5-base Zerg, and realistically, one of these is a gold that's just about to mine on out. But I mean, this Terran is also incredibly broke in this game, and Kier is mining Rogue's just mining up that much more. Yeah, so here, Kieri's trying to move on in, but at this point, it is the Hydroling Lurker. And that is not an army that Bio can really just... Wait, how many barracks do we have? What did that? Wow. 4 barracks went down from that Lurker run by. I didn't think he was... I thought he would just lift the production, but no. Kier is only able to produce off of 4 barracks, and he can't even afford to buy additional barracks. He's just so broke. Realistically, he's out of mineral patches everywhere. He lifted the main to the 4th base, but... This is functionally like a 1.3 base Terran, right? He does not have that much economy. And yeah, Rogue's not doing that much better, but he's doing just enough that the supply gap is widening. Now we have lurkers. Oh, they're going to find their way onto this one last mining base. They're going to deny mining in its entirety. And take a look at the income here. It's not. Right, it's not all that great indeed. Now we do have this lurker's going to try to burrow on in, and we'll get found. Scans are going to get spent, but these are scans that Kier needs to spend on economy. These are scans that Kier needs to spend to make sure that he can keep his income up. And, well, he's just not allowed to do that. So this base, once again, will get canceled here. And the Nidus, it's not going to go up. But Rogue is just pulling for... Oh, that's the Nidus. We're going to see a bunch of... This is just so many lurkers here. This economy of the Terran, it's dead. It's gone. It's never going to be allowed to do anything in this game. And yeah, we will see Kier. He's going to go for a last-ditch base trade, but the lurkers are just going to pop on in, pop on out. They can defend. And now we have lurkers on both sides of the Terran. Oh man, I'd love to see like a lurker flank. That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, but you have the tanks. They're going to siege it up. Vipers, they say, no, you don't get to do that. And yes, one tank is still shelling away, and there is only one Viper, so one tank will still be able to do something here. Now it's just a last-ditch drop on into the main base, doing what he can. There are no tanks to buffer this, so Lurkers still will be able to find their way on up. And this is just going to have to be it for Cure, but I'm not convinced that this is what he needs. I mean, it's a good idea, right? If you can fight your opponent, you know, up a choke, it's somewhat useful. The Lurkers can fight from the low ground, and when they burrow on up, it's still a lot of splash damage. Yeah, Cure is just not taking the fight that he needs here. This army that was so big a second ago, it is a lot smaller. It is a 30 supply deficit now in army supply. The income is massive here. Well, the income differential is massive. The income for Cure is not all that great, as he is taking the 12 o'clock position. This tank is going to go on down. Lurkers surrounding everything. Cure's last army is going to go on down. The Terran player has been broken once again from defeat. Once again, Cure has found victory, or Rogue has found victory, I should say. And this is insane. In these last two maps, Cure has had these positions where it really looked like he had the position that he needed, where he was in a fantastic position where he was going to win the game, and then he just didn't. SCVs are just getting pulled here to fight at this point, because the SCVs can't mine. They're never going to be allowed to mine. That's the story. GG Cure is going to go down, and Rogue. And here we are, spawning in the bottom right in the blue, of course, for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, and the current GSL champion. He is Rogue. And his opponent here. We could introduce him in his main base, but we should probably introduce him where he's building his units. Spawning here in the middle right position. Going for 2 racks once again for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is Cure. Yes, Bartholomew, this is in fact live. And I kind of wonder, was this pool first? No, okay, so this was hatched first here, but the drone scout's gonna find it. Okay. This is not gonna be pool first, so the 2 racks hold is not gonna be as easy as it otherwise would be. But Rogue, he's going for the full-on just denial here. We're gonna have drones getting pulled to try to deal with this, and this is a far away 2 rack. This 2 racks is closer to Rogue's base, or to Cure's base, than it is Rogue's. But well, drones are gonna get pulled here. They're just gonna look to surround any Marines that pop on out. Gonna knock down these SCVs, and with that being the case, I mean, yeah, this is just not gonna work here from Cure. Now, I do like this, sending the Marine away from everything else, so that does mean that the drones, for the moment, they're lost mining time, and even if they do get this 1 Marine, they're not going to be able to get the utter surround, or the utter denial, but they do have that really nice surround. 1 Marine will go down immediately. The SCVs have already been brought back home, and maybe the mining disadvantage here is going to be enough to make this worthwhile for Cure, because these Marines are not going to get anything done. We're not going to see a bunker. This was just an abject denial, and considering the fact that Rogue, he did not lose a single drone to this. He did not lose a single drone to this. He's totally fine. Again, the goal of a 2 rack is not necessarily to go on and kill your opponent. That really has not been a thing since Heart of the Swarm. Granted, I'm talking about the highest levels. Do I lose to 2 racks? Yeah, all the time. But at the highest levels here, it's really not that. So instead, it's just going to be a lot of... Oh, it's going to be triple Reaper play. It's very interesting here. And I don't know whether Rogue is prepared for this. He does not have any gas on the way. He doesn't have anything that really is going to deal with this all that well. And 3 Reapers are annoying, right? They can knock down Queens. They can kill a bunch of Zerglings. And if they snowball, I mean, they absolutely can win a game. So Rogue, for the moment, he's just building more and more Zerglings, more and more Queens. I don't know if he knows this is 3. He doesn't know this is 3 Reaper, though. He knows it's 2 Reaper, yeah, but not 3. And I do like this extra pressure that we see Rogue putting on his opponent, or that we see Cure putting on his opponent. Because that will allow him to, again, just take advantage of his income lead, or his potential income lead that much more. Now, these flames are getting rather low, which means Rogue will have to sacrifice some Zerglings to make that happen. And actually, he's gonna lose a drone as well. So, with the Marine and these 3 Reapers, there's actually a lot that Cure can get done. Now, if there's a surround or something, yeah, these Zerglings will be able to kill off these Reapers rather quickly. But more workers are starting to go on down. And the Queens are heavily damaged. I mean, they're not dead, and then we will see as they do get their extra energy, they will be able to... They will be able to heal themselves back up. So actually, you know what? Good hold there from Rogue. You're not really able to get that much more done. Yeah, no, VHD, you talked about that earlier, though. I think someone was saying, man, it wouldn't it be crazy if Rogue got the G5 belt before Mario did, after Mario won 4 in a row? Well, I think we're just going to need 2 more years, because honestly, Rogue, he wins about 1 GSL a year, and then kind of falls off. So, who knows? He might go win another, but again, Rogue, he seems to, he gets knocked out by Insanity a lot. So anyways, we do have, of course, the Reapers here and the Hellions as well, but the Queens are a lot healthier than they were, and the crew spread is a lot more developed. There are more Queens. This shouldn't get a lot done, and Rogue, well, people come on into this channel and they say, hey, is Rogue going Roaches? And I tell them, no, he's been going Ling Bane, because I want to say that Roach style was a thing, was a prepared style against a Terran player, or against Mario, not a style that he thinks is universally good against Terran. But that being said, of course, he's going for Roaches in this game. I do like this, though, in the context of this game, considering he's, he had to build some extra stuff early. He doesn't have maybe as quite a good of economy as he would like. And more importantly, it's light shade, right? The third bases are rather wide open. It's a short rush distance. And also, we know that Kira's got to be tilted off the face of the earth, right? We've seen how he's played. We've seen how he's been slow to GG. And he's also maybe not the player with the strongest mental. Yeah, Mario, you went 4-0 in GSL Finals, and then he lost to a Terran, and then he lost to a Zerg. So I guess what he actually, you know what, VHD, if he plays against the Toss in the final, I guess that means he loses against all 3 races in GSL Finals. Yeah, this is Jeskar. This is all 9 maps played. It's technically a best of 9, but all 9 maps played, and each winner gets $20. So Rogue now, he has $100 to his name. Kira has 0. And of course, if Rogue does manage to 9-0, then, well, he's going to be an event. He's going to get an additional $300. We've never had that happen before. But honestly, with how Rogue has been playing, it's looking like it might happen in this game. As we have a big push coming on out here from Kira, which means, of course, Zerglin counterattack on into the third base here. It's not even that big of one, but it will deny the mining here from Rogue, from Kira for the time being. And now that we do have more and more Roaches on the way. And here we go. This is the damage that Rogue was looking for, that Kira was looking for, though. He will be able to find something in the main base, but no, the Roaches, they're already reacting. There are 4 Roaches here. That's not enough, but it is enough to buffer, and it should allow Rogue the time he needs to be able to make this defense happen. But actually, where is his army? Oh, this is actually fantastic damage. This is the first real true damage, well, first big early game damage that Rogue has been able to, or has suffered this entire series. 16 workers do go down, and as well as a bunch of Roaches. Now, of course, and now we will have the Reapers, the Hellions. They're going to dive on into, but nice splits here from Rogue immediately. But he's still going to lose almost 30 workers. 25 workers, 24 workers will be the name of the game here. And that is just already, I mean, this is the worst position that Rogue has been in this entire series thus far. He's at 37, he's down 37 workers. And he's not building anymore. He's just building more and more and more Roaches, and he's just going to go for an all-in. Okay. I can respect that one. His 1-1 is just about done. He's going to have a lot of Roaches. He has a 30 army supply lead. And there are not a lot of tanks. There are only 2. And the SimCity's not all that great either. So Rogue, he's just going to look to move out on the map here, dive on top of these tanks, kill it off, and, well, do what he can to try to make this win happen. Now, we do have Kira. Part of his army is on the other side of the map, trying to get some more damage done, which means there's less army here on the defensive. And yes, we do have more bunkers on the way. We do have more SimCity on the way. But I mean, there are enough. It's 7 biles, of course, to knock down a bunker, and I believe there are more than. What do we have? So we have 7 Ravagers now. So we have 1 bunker worth of biles done here. And now Rogue, he's just looking for the big break. The big surround coming on in. We do see an instantaneous wall go on in here. The tanks are free firing, but you need a bunch of shots here. Both tanks are going to go on down. It's a big surround, and we talked about damage. We talked about how Rogue, he was maybe not in the best position in this game, but the biles are going to come raining on down. The majority of the Terran's army is dying, and even if Rogue does not win the game right here, right now, which it's looking like he might, it's still consistent damage here. He will be able to get on top of things. Zerglings come spilling on in behind, and it looks like Rogue or Kira will be able to beat it back. And hey, we have a game. We have a series, Kira. So before we get on into this game a little bit too much, as wow, once again, Kira's going for 2 racks. Before we get on into this too much, before the action does pick up, I would once again like to remind you that this event is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. If you go on in there, you start the tutorial, you use the ! raid. So you got to click our link to go make it work. You're going to get some additional stuff. You get an additional legendary hero, and you get some extra currency. And access some extra shards as well that you can unlock for more champions. And it helps us out a lot. If you play through the tutorial, that helps, and if you get to level 10, that helps us even more. So please make sure you go do on that one, and after that, yeah, just uninstall, do whatever. It takes like 20 minutes out of your day. You can do it while you're watching this event. So please go do that. But anyways, we do have Cure. He's going to move on in, and this time Rogue's not going to go with the SCV pull, or we're not going to go with the drone pull to make this happen. Now I know he scouted it, but now the drones are going to get pulled. Bunker is on the way, which does force a little bit more eco here from Cure. And I think what's happening here is Rogue's like, yeah, I don't really want to deal with this aggressive option with this kind of triple Reaper thing that you're doing, Cure. That's annoying. Whether or not it's good or not doesn't really matter. It's just kind of annoying. So now, well, we do have the bunkers going on. The back bunker will complete. And this is actually one of the rare times that we do actually see a bunker going down. Now, the front bunker should not. But the Zerglings, they're kind of zoned out a little bit. This bunker will complete, and it's only one spine. Now, it's two spines is the traditional hold, right? The Heart of the Swarm hold, where you kind of go on in and you say, yeah, I got two spines. I can put them in a position where they are out of range of the bunker. But one spine does not kill a bunker all that fast, especially not with SCVs repairing. And this is looking like a game that Cure may win off of his 2-rack play. The Zerglings, they're sharking around for the rally, but they're just not getting it. And this hatchery is going to go on down. And remember, well, a 2-rack. Okay, finally he's going to get one of these Marines. Finally he's going to get one of those Marines. But remember, a 2-rack is not an all-in play, right? It is very much it's not as nearly as much of a commitment. But okay, the bunker will go on down now. The Queens, well, they're not going to take too much damage. A couple of Zerglings will go down. Now we do have the spine moving on up here, and well, that gives the Marines license to move on forward. One Queen goes down, second Queen goes down, and this is massive. This is real massive damage here from Curious. He's gonna get a third Queen and a bunch of drones. This is actually the most damage I've seen the 2-racks get done in. Yeah, that's gonna be a GG. Here he takes the second game. All right, here we are spawning the bottom left in the blue. Of course, he is for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Rogue. And his opponent, it's the same build once again. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Here in the middle right-hand side, actually, and the upper right, in the red. Rogue's teammate, he's won 2 in a row. Can he make it 3? He is. Cure. Well, you may say that Cure just looks like he wants it to be over, but I mean, realistically, he's had a lot of success with this build. Yeah, one time the 2X didn't work, but the other couple times it has. And he's finding these positions where Rogue is not scouting it. Now, granted, this one shouldn't work, right? This was a hatch first opener, so this is just kind of a build order counter here. The bunkers are going to try to go up, and the Zerglings say, hey, no, you don't get to do that. Jonathan NHW, this is all maps played. You really think about this series as 9 best of 1s than a single best of 9, where the players are incentivized. Every map they win, they get $20. Every map their opponent wins, well, they just don't get anything. And of course, if Rogue was able to pull off the clean 9-0 sweep, then he would win an extra 300. Now, we've never seen a clean sweep here in this format. Wait, how in the world? Here's gonna get some bunkers up. Despite this being pool first, despite there being Zerglings on the map, he's got 1 bunker up and he's gotten 2 more on the way. What? Is Rogue just kind of throwing here? As we don't have any spawns on the way, yeah, more Zerglings are on the way here, but this is going to get the hatchery, and what? Is Rogue just kind of throwing against this to give his friend some lunch money? Like, this shouldn't have happened. This was pool first, right? Getting these 3 bunkers up just should never happen. So the hatcher is down. We don't have any. It's gonna be a Baneling bust. Baneling bust. You don't go Baneling bust against this. Baneling bust is just not good. And now, yeah, we have Marines going on home. bunkers. One bunker was salvaged, and oh, this is pretty cool. So we have a connecting bunker chain, right? So as one bunker goes down, the Marines, the bio can go back to the next one. Now it's not really gonna matter, and I'm surprised we have these extra bunkers getting built. But there we go. So factory is on the way, and it's gonna be a tech lab here. We will have tanks out, which means this prospective battling bus is gonna get even less done. Now speed is done, and the Marines, they're not back home yet. Neither are the barracks. We're gonna have a tank rather soon. Okay, so now it's early. They're just gonna look to run on by here, and of course, I mean the army supplies are actually massively in Rogue's favor, and a lot of that, well, it's on the other side of the map. So that's the problem. We do have bunkers on the way. We do have an extra wall going on down here. So, well, we will have SCVs that are trying to break, but or we will have banelings that are going to try to break this. But we have a full double wall here coming on up, which means even if you burst through version 1, well, you're not going to get through version 2. The bunkers are already done. Zerglings are going to look to try to do what they can. There's actually not a great repair window here on top of this. You got to repair the factory? Factory repair, please? Okay, the tank will be done, but now Zerglings, they come spilling on in. Now, well, even if the tank does go on down here, the bunker still stands strong. It has killed so much. GG. Here. He's gonna take game number 8. All right, here we are once again with the pool first. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the one, the only, the GSL champion, Rogue. And his opponent here spawning in the upper left in the red. He is also for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is the online warrior. Sure. Now, God Engine, if you talk about maximize, and again, I'm not supporting this. I'm not saying that they should do this, but if you talk about maximizing money for teammates, the smart play is to, for Rogue to go to Cure to go to Rogue, and say, hey, look, probably for Rogue to go to Cure at this point. If you let me 9-0 and therefore make $480 instead of the max 180 that's in the prize pool, I will split it with you. I'll split the bonus with you 50-50. So, or I'll even split it with you 50-50. And 480 over 2 is a whole lot. 480 over 2, that's 240 each. That's a lot more than even the maximum amount of money that you would have gone for. So, okay. Yeah, that seems like worthwhile. I mean, that's what we saw happening kind of with the with that one IEM Katowice that was $100,000 winner take all, where it didn't actually end up working that way. It's like all the Koreans bar SOS had gone on in and agreed to do a profit sharing thing, and then SOS wins it and he gets $100,000 to himself. Hey, but I mean, that's not what they did, and but I think that's the smart move. It's not a move I support, as the Zerglings will find their way on in here. This command center should be this command center most likely is just going to get canceled. The Reaper's all the way on the other side of the map. The STV will go on down, and okay, Zerglings will not find their way on up into the high ground. Oh, okay, so this is not going to be a cancel here. As Rogue, he will force a massive STV pull, and that this army is not going to win. The Zerglings will not win against this amount of STVs with the Marine behind it. I mean, this is a massive. This is like the entire SCV economy here from Cure's main base that went on in. Now, granted, he wanted to move a lot of those SCVs to the natural anyways, so he just pulled them a little early. Actually, that's a good move here from Cure, but income. Hi, Scary Tail. This is in fact live. Yeah, Uncle Slim, I think at this point it's like Rogue, he won the best of 9. And he's not playing quite as well as he was earlier. Pretty much as soon as he won game 5, he's like, okay, I won the series. I could try hard and get additional, make some additional money, but I already got $100. I don't want my teammates to be too sad. And well, I still got to play these games anyways. I do question the last game, though. Game number 8 did feel like a game that he should have won, opening up pool first against a 2-Rax, but didn't really work out. I mean, this is true TBD forever. I just don't expect it in the same series. And certainly not when you have a build order counter. I do expect players of Rogue's level to really execute that build order counter if it's a thing, but look at this. Kerry doesn't want this game to go all that long either. We have a armory on the way. It's going to be Hellbat timing. How many Marines do we have? So it's just going to be a pure Hellbat timing. It's not going to be Marine Hellbat, nothing like that. Like, this is the version of the Hellbat timing I like the least. Feels like the one that is the least impactful. Generally, you know, you get the ones that are, you know, like 5 Marines and Hellbats or something. But this one with just Hellbats here, I mean, it feels like the Queen just mop this one up every time. So how many Queens do we have? So we do have 7. Okay, it's going to start with a Hellion drop on into the main base, and that's not that will get scouted here. But the Queens are only on in the natural, so maybe this gets something done. But Zerglings there in the main base. Yeah, this is well. There's not a lot of Zerglings actually. So if you can drop the Hellions off, but no, they're going to sit on under that. But the Hellions dropping off one by one on top of Zerglings, that's not going to really work. How many Hellions do we have on the map here? We have 8. Okay, so your kind of standard Hellbat timing number. Do we have? We have no Baneling Nest. We have no Roach Warren. And that does mean that there's a bit more potential here for damage. As well, Rogue is droning here. He only has 18 Zerglings. Granted, Hellbats are... It's only 4 Hell... Okay, this is weird. 4 Hellbats are going to move on in. But yeah, we do have excuse me, we do have the Hellion drop in the main base as well. Not the Hellbat drop, actually. But with the Queens in this force here, that's not going to get a lot done. And this is just going to get cleaned up. 3 workers go down. And yes, this is a 3-base build here from Cure. But this got nothing done. Three drones are just about nothing. Scary Tail, this is best of 9. Actually, can the overlay do best of 11? Okay. Sorry. I don't believe this actually can do best of 11. I don't think this can show best of 11. Actually, I'm not even sure where the overlay can do that. Oh, but look at this. Rogue's getting a really quick burrow. He did this in all of his Ling Bane games, but I don't think it was any of them was this fast. Yeah, Captain Claw. I mean, that was a cool build. Maybe it works against the lesser Zerg, but it doesn't work against, you know, perhaps the best Zerg. Well, okay, the second best Zerg. I'll give him that. Does not work against the second best Zerg currently playing. You know, best, of course, probably Raynor at this point, even if Raynor has lost, like, every single game he's played against Clem recently. I think that's just more of a statement to Clem's TVZ than anything else, is, again, if you sit in there in the Crucible of Europe playing against Raynor and Cyril on ladder all day, every day, you're going to have some damn good ZVT or TVZ. Certainly better than anything that happens in Korea. I think that's fair to say. But anyways, now Bio's going to stem on it. And hey, Queen's going to go down. Nice little assassination play there. Yeah, he lost in the next qualifier to some no-name Chinese player, which was always surprising. So let's... Oh, that's nice blitz there on the Widowmine. And you know what Rogue... Okay, so he does have his 4th base. 5th base is on the way. He has a fairly significant upgrade lead. Right now it's 1-1 versus 1-1, but he has a 2-2 timing. His hive is... We're going to have like a 9... We're going to have like an 830 hive in this game. Up of a pool first. Just saying. That's a really fast tier. Now this drop, though, it's not going to get really cleaned on up just yet. And this is just pure Ling Bane style, by the way. This is Rogue. He's not getting any additional tech. We don't see a Hydra Den yet, which I kind of would expect to see, to be totally honest. Generally, when you see Ling Bane like this, you do get a Hydra Den, you do get Lurkers, and it's just a way to get into Ling Bane Hive Lurker really quickly. But that's not what we see in this game. And we may actually just see quick Ultras. Raynor was pretty average before IEM this last year. I mean, I hard disagree on that one. He won a couple DreamHack Summers. He did very well. I don't remember if he won any of the global finals, but that was kind of hard to... I mean, it's always online. That's kind of hard to judge. He finally beat Cyril, who had been his nemesis. He beat Clem, when Clem was looking damn good in the matchup. I mean, Raynor had a fantastic year. Saying that he just had a kind of a mediocre to poor year and then won IEM, that's kind of misremembering the facts. Yeah, I know which IEM you're talking about, but yeah, that that's misrepresenting just how good of a year Raynor did have. He pretty much won. He won most tournaments that he joined. And in the online year, I mean, that's just about all that you can do. I mean, it's not like he was going to go to Korea and win GSL. He couldn't go to Korea. And these European players, they're pretty happy to not go to Korea anyways, because there's just more tournament opportunities in the West, for better or worse. So now we do have this, this run by is going to, or not run by, this drop's going to try to get something done. And, well, it's not. Now, here's the thing, though. Here he is in the stage of the game where he feels comfortable multi-pronging on the map. He has his army on the right-hand side, army on the left. He really is not going to get much done with a full frontal push. Promisiola, this is a all maps played best of 9, so it's not just a, well, we go to whoever wins 5 maps and after that whatever. This is 9. This is guaranteed 9 games. Think of it as like 9 best of 1s, right? Where the winner of each map gets $20, loser doesn't get anything. Look at this here. The first time in this series, no, he got ghosted in the Beckett game, but he's actually committing to Ghost in this game. And I do like that. That being said, though, his 3-3 is extremely far behind. 3-3 only just now getting started. 3-3 from Rogue is about halfway done. And Rogue, he's just playing this defensive Ling Bane style. He's not really trying to kill his opponent. I mean, if he does, that's nice, but he's not really trying to kill his opponent all that much. It's just trade well, get up into Hive Tech, get on into that really powerful late game Zerg composition. So we have 2 macro hatches, all with queens. This is actually... never mind. We have more hatcheries than we have queens on the map, which is kind of surprising. But now Rogue, he's going for that all in. His 3-3 is done in... Okay, Rogue, wait, 20. Rogue, your 3-3. This is... Come on, Ultra Speed's not done. 3-3's not done. Rogue, what do you do? I mean, this may work anyways, but this is such an anti-timing here. As the Banelings come crashing on in. This isn't going to work. The Planetary may go down. That's nice, sure, but this is just not a cost-efficient trade in any way, shape, or form. Even with 15 works going on down, I mean... Upgrades are done in 10 seconds. This could have been such a much better fight here for Rogue, but he didn't wait 20 seconds. That's all he needed. His 3-3 would have been done. He would have had ultra speed, everything that he needed to make that push happen. But now maybe he has forced Kieran to somewhat of an all-in position here. The tanks don't really have the best siege, and Rogue's going to do it anyways. He's going to say, look, I got 3-3 now. I'm going to push on in with the queens here. They're going to keep these ultras alive, and this is going to be a much better trade here for Rogue. But I'm still... Rogue. Is this just you wanting to end the series? I mean, it's not that late for them. It's like 11 p.m. KST right now. Now the Ultras, they're continuing to move on in. They have upgrade leads, right? They are 3-5 against 2-2. But yeah, TBD, the first couple games were a bit, wow, this is just Rogue smashing. But yeah, games 4-5 were pretty close, were really good. The Beckett and the Blackbird games in particular really did feel like Pierre had a chance, even if at the end of the day he didn't. Or even at the end of the day he lost, I guess is a better way to say that. But now we do have the Planetary on the way once again. We have nukes on the way. We're going to have a late game TVZ here to end the day. I'm going to, well, not to end the day, to end the series. I'm going to be pretty happy because, of course, we are playing 2 hours of Raid Shadow Legends after this, and this is a sponsored stream by them. We'll be talking about that more in a little bit. But for now, we do have this big run by here on the right-hand side. Again, these are 3-3 cracklings. Rogue has not forgotten crack in this game. And that does mean he will be able to get through that wall really quickly indeed. And he should be able to get on this tank as well. But there's a decent amount of bio. So, hey, reset the tank count. That's going to be something. Meanwhile, the snipers are going to go on down, do what they can. And we have a nuke on the way. Okay, that's going to get found on out. No big deal there. Liberators will be able to keep the space alive for the time being. Though, yeah, this is just... Oh, wow, that was really cool, actually. Notice the whole position there on the SCVs to keep the ultras from making connection with the tanks, so the tanks will actually stay alive. And this is actually a fairly good position here for Kira. He's been able to reestablish his 4th base. You know, as the 5th command center on the way. He's in 3-3 tech. He's been trading much better than his opponent. Granted, what was it? Was it the Beckett game in the first 7 games where he also did something similar? Yeah, no, it was. No, it was the Romanticide game where he was up 10,000 resources traded, and then Rogue said, I don't care, I have more money, I'm going to beat you anyways. So we're going to have to see whether Rogue can flip the script there in this game and actually, well, establish the bases he needs to mine and get what he needs to get done. Ghost count is at 3. Yeah, VHD. Unfortunately, Rogue, he just downloaded Mario. He says, I know what Mario's going to do. I know just how to counter it. And then he just smashed him, which is pretty cool from a series planning objective perspective. But from I want entertaining games, yeah, it's not the best. But honestly, the GSL just followed that formula once again, where, you know, if the semifinals are fantastic, which they were, the semifinals were really good. Finals are just going to be mediocre to poor. And that's what you expect. All right, we do have Rogue. He has a bunch of corruptors now, and I don't believe Cure has seen this. Where are the corruptors? Okay, they're with the army now, but I don't believe previously that had been revealed. So when Rogue takes this next fight, I mean, a lot of these are the medevacs in the sky should get taken on down. That's gonna be something. Well, actually, no. Thor's on them. I guess this is dealing with late game brood lords or something. We do have Thor's on the way, but there are 65. There's 65 banelings on the way. Just no big deal. Casual 65 banelings, and that is going to go up to, okay, 90. There are 50 supply banelings on the map. Well, call it 49 supply banelings on the map here. As banelings come crashing on in from every side. The baneling dream is real. The baneling memes are real. Everything's just gonna get evaporated here. The army here of Cure. Really, actually, you know what? Nice blitz here from Cure. He's gonna knock down every single baneling. Yes, the base did go down, but nice trades there for Cure. But at the end of the day, Rogue, he's just gonna remax immediately. 100 more Zerglings are on the way. Those snipes that will be able to knock down a bunch of corruptors, and you know, let's look at the last here, the last tab. Rogue was able to kill about 6,000 resources. I guess a couple more. Cure killed 11,000. So if you look at resources lost delta here, it's 11,000 resources, right? That's a lot, but again, Cure for the moment, he's only on 4 bases. He did lose that planetary once again. Now we have banelings. They're crushing on in once again, and this is really an attempted game of attrition more than anything else. But banelings crashing on into Thors, into tanks. It's not the most cost efficient, but I'm not sure if Rogue cares. Really, is he's going to be able to knock this planetary down once again? Granted, it is it will complete that planetary status before anything does happen. The ultras are going to start to go on down, but Rogue, he's saying, die to my wallet, right? More than anything else, just die to my wallet, live under the, die to the weight of how much money I have. And, I mean, that's exactly what's happening. Here now, down below 100 supply. Granted, it's because he's only on 35 SCVs, and that's about 10 below where he wants to be at this point of the game. And he's just not been allowed to take a 4th base. He has only 7 mineral patches instead of 8 on his 4th base, right? His main, his natural, his 3rd are all very close to mining on out. And yes, he's taking somewhat decent trades over the last several of fights. And I mean, he's taking positive trades over these last fights. It's now a 13,000 resources gap. It's really just a matter of the fact that Rogue has taken every single base on his side of the map. Cure is stuck on 4 bases. He's stuck in his quadrant. And Rogue can afford to just throw money away, throw 50 Banes at a time at Cure until he dies. Which is a pretty nice position here for the Zerg to be, but I mean, I'm sure Cure wishes he was not in that situation. 35 more banelings on the way. It's not 65 all at once, but you know, what is? So once again, we have the attack running on in immediately here. Corruptors, they're just going to knock down as many, as many missile turrets, or excuse me, as many medevacs as they can. Banelings just crashing on into everything, into tanks, into planetaries, into bio, into whatever it can find. Once again, Cure, his army supply is falling. Once again, Cure, his base is going to go on down, and he's just running out of, command centers at this point. All the medevacs go down as well. And GG, there we have it, 6-3.